So today we are kicking off a crucial conversation about the future of power and politics in Nigeria. A new movement called The Future Is Now is demanding a generational takeover, 70% of legislative seats and half of all top government jobs for Nigerians under 40. They say the future isn't tomorrow, it is now. But here's our question for you this morning. Do you support this 70% demand? Is it the bold shake-up Nigeria needs, or is it an unrealistic goal? So that's the debate this morning. We want to hear from you, the young, the experienced, and everyone in between. Is it time to hand the keys to the next generation? Give us a call right now. You can call the numbers on your screen, and you can also send WhatsApp messages on the number displayed on your screen. Hauwa, in a country that has that constitutes over 70% of youth, you understand, in population. It's historically, you understand, said that the youth has always been sidelined in the Nigerian politics at large. Now, in a country that godfatherism has eaten deep into the system, a youth cannot be successful in politics without the help of the older generation. What do you think this goal is very realistic?
When it comes to this conversation, as you said, the youth are the largest demography or the demography in Nigeria. But then most would say the youth don't get a chance to be able to get involved in politics in Nigeria, and some might say that the youth are not interested in getting involved in politics. So these are different perspectives and different views, but then the reality is, I believe it's a mix of both. Some youth are comfortable and okay with what is going on, the lack of them being involved in politics, and some actually do want to get into politics. But that, which you mentioned, political godfatherism, has a very huge stronghold in Nigeria. But let's take our first caller. Hello, good morning, Ajay. Thank you for joining us. We have Ajay.
Good morning, Hauwa. Good morning, Maryam. Happy
good morning
to you.
Thank you. Happy Friday and happy independence. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Yes, happy independence. To me, I disagree with it.
Okay.
Nigeria is too big to get out to disease, because they still need people who know about history, who are elderly people. So they can give Gen Z about 30% or 35%. That's still okay. Because when they say give young people opportunity, we gave Yaya Bello opportunity under 40 to be a governor. You know what happened at the end. So we can't say because they are youth, they should hand over Nigeria to them. No, because there should be some people who have experience, who have the age to lead, because we are too big in Nigeria to be governed by Gen Z now. Maybe some years to come, yes. But there are some things that they don't understand, and they will do it in their way, which is not okay with a country like Nigeria. So, to me, I disagree with that. They should be involved in other areas. For example, Ministry of Youth should be occupied by youth people, so that they will understand the language of themselves, which we are referred to in this part of the world, Gen Z. So, they can understand their languages. But other areas, they can involve them on the lower cadre side, but not on the top. Because to be at the top, your thinking must be working more than computer for you to be in any higher position in Nigeria. Because we are still struggling in my country, Nigeria now. We have not got it right. Despite being blessed by God with everything we needed in every part of Nigeria. But yes, we have more poor people than anywhere. So, which is not a good news. So for now, let them cool down. Their time will come. Not now, but they will be involved, but not about 70. 35 maximum. That's my own contribution about Gen Z. Good morning. God bless Nigeria.
All right, thank you very much, Ajay, for your thoughts and your opinions. When it comes to the youth, a lot would say that, oh no, they're not ready. Oh no, they don't know how the system works. Oh no, they cannot be able to handle the responsibility. But when we look at the history that we have, those that have been involved in governance, they were there and involved in the government quite a tender age, at quite a young age. So when we compare then and now, and the sheer amount of knowledge and the advancement that we have at this moment, it would be quite shocking and surprising to see the kind of responsibility that the youth can be able to handle.
And that Better the Future is now initiated. But before that,
let us take our next caller.
Call.
Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining us. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning. My name is Idris.
Good morning. Thank you for joining in. Go ahead with your thoughts.
All right. I thought would be yes, young people in governance. So we are in an age where way of life in a technological world.
All right, if it is possible, please do well to call us back because you are hardly audible at this point. There's an issue with your network, so make sure you call us in. We'd like to hear your thoughts. Yeah, your voice does matter. So, Maryam, speaking of the youth involvement, quite understandable that they need mentorship when it comes to knowing the ropes of how to do what they need to do. But the question is, do we have the right mentorship or mentors at this point?
Because
and how are they supposed to show them the way and the right way?
Well, before I say something about that, we have another caller. Hello,
good morning, Shetima. Thank you for joining in.
Good morning, Hauwa. Good morning, Maryam.
Good morning, Shetima.
Good morning, Nigeria. This is Shetima Yakudima calling from Maiduguri.
Good morning. Go ahead with your thoughts.
About the 70% youth presentation. Well, it will create a good scenario. But honestly speaking, our youth of nowadays, the training that they receive, it will be difficult for them to deliver, because the education that they receive, by all indication, is a fake education. This is true of the matter. I think Hauwa was comparing them with the people like Tafawa Balewa and the rest when they have assumed into the corridor of power at the tender edge, like Yakubu Gawan and the rest. But if you look at the training they receive, right from the home and at the school, is quite different from the training of nowadays. Because youth of nowadays, the training that they are receiving is a half cake. It's a half cake training. Honestly speaking, we have to tell ourselves the truth. Because if you look at the quality of our education, the discipline at home, it is all shaking. If you look at people like Thomas Sankara, they did well. They did well, honestly speaking, at their tender age. And if you go to the outside world, if you trace the history of Japan and Meiji Revolution, Meiji was 14 years old when he assumed the corridor of power, and he did well. He is the one that make a foundation of the Japan, industrialization, and he have received credit for that. But honestly speaking, I think they have to be 50-50, so that the old age they should be trained the youngest one. But we should make sure that the corrupt old age that should be trained the younger one. We don't want them to train them through that corruption that they have been practicing all the time. So I think 50-50 will be solved the problem of this country by God's willing. Because these old age people, they are there to accumulate wealth for their children. They know that their time is about, and they don't care about the development of the country. What they are after is how to accumulate wealth and leave it to their children, so that they can enjoy themselves. But but they forget one thing, that no matter how much you leave to a child, it's a waste. It's a waste if you do not give him sound education. And all this education that they are giving them in upfront, it is fake education. They only teach them how to speak. That's all. But the core education, they do not even commit themselves. They feel that their parents have it, so they don't care to go through the system or to allow the system to pass through them. They just only spend time and collect the certificate and come back. That's why the problem lies. So I think 50-50 should be okay. May Allah bless our country. May Allah restore our country to a better position. Thank you so much and have a nice day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Shatima.
So there's a saying, it's not even a saying now, it's a fact that you should do the rigorous activities and the hard works when you are below 40, and after 40 or 50 you have to start resting. So this is the case of the youth. They're getting more involved. Somebody mentioned that in one of the callers that taking leadership in Nigeria is a very rigorous activities, but hey, the older generations have been ruling for years and we still haven't seen impact,
we've heard
so why not just leave it to the let me take for example the president of Togo, Ibrahim Traore, is just 7 years old and he's doing a lot of wonderful things in his country.
Hello, yeah. Good morning, thank you for joining in. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is from you. I don't think about between and you.
All right, your network is quite, if you make sure you call us back so that we can hear your thoughts.
So I was talking about the president of Burkina Faso. You can see what is happening in his country. He's very young. So I feel I believe that when Nigerians, the Nigerian government include more of the youth in the governance, it mustn't be the president.
But, at this point, we've heard different perspectives. And when you look at the broader picture, you would understand that it is the sole responsibility of how the country is carried out to translate how responsible the youth can be. And obviously that you can pick some out of, the whole lot that might not be able to, conduct
deliver
that. Yeah. Exactly. Let's take our caller and hear their thoughts. Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining in. What is your name and where are you calling from? Good morning. All right, I believe we lost our caller. Make sure you call us in. As of now, we're still discussing representation in governance. And the question is, should the youth get 70%? We'd like to hear from you. So make sure you call us in or send us a WhatsApp message as well. All right, let's take our next caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for calling in.
From Benue State, back on the line.
All right, thank you for calling back. Go ahead.
All right. My point precisely supporting the idea that youth should be represented in government over 70% is, there is a new way things are being done. The first caller made mention of the fact that anyone who is to be involved in governance should be thinking like a computer. And you can't convince me that the older people who are currently ruling us think like the computer more than we the youth. The world has moved on from the traditional way of doing things. You can't convince me that over 70% of those people ruling us, the elderly people ruling us now, some of them cannot even operate a computer. And the world has moved on technologically. Things are, the people everywhere are talking of robotics. We are talking of science, and things have gone far beyond the traditional way how we are running things here in this country. And only the youth have the capacity to bring Nigeria to the point where the other societies of the world are currently. The second speaker made mention of the fact that the education the youth have received does not qualify them to be represented in the government. Who designed the education? Who taught the young people the education they have? It is the older people. We receive this education from them. And we are not saying kick the old people out of governance. They will be there to guide us, to teach us how things are done, to take us through memory lane, to learn things that have happened. And then, with time, we catch up. So, I am in the opinion that yes, youth, it is our time. We have the energy, we have the knowledge of the way things are going on in the world. Look at how young Nigerians are performing out there. Many of our young minds, brilliant young minds in the computer, in the healthcare, they are out there doing exploits. They are doing very well in the computer world. They are doing very well in the business world. Young people are doing very well. It's just because we are not giving the opportunity here in this country. Give us the opportunity and see how we do. And let the older ones stand by us, guide us. But for them to just say we are too young, we don't have experience. You cannot have experience without actually practicing a particular craft. You have to practice to gain experience. So through practice, through our involvement in governance, we will have the experience and then we'll pass this down. If they keep us like this, by the time those older men die and go away, it means there will be no leaders. So I'm of the opinion that yes, youth are supposed to be up to 70% in government. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. You know, the Future is Now project has key demands. They didn't really say they want the youth in the presidency or anything. They wanted that key demands are at least 70% of seats should be held by youth under 35 years old. The State of House of Assembly should be at least 70%, should at least have 70% of seats filled with the youth.
All right, let's take our next caller. Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining in.
Good morning. Thank you for joining in.
All right, can you please turn down the volume of your TV set so that we can hear you clearly? All right, make sure you call us in, but a reminder, the rules of engagement when you're calling in, make sure the volume of your TV set is turned all the way down so that we can hear you clearly. All right, our next caller. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Yes, thank you for joining in. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name Haruna, Alhaji Haruna Godoisha from Kwara State, Barote.
All right, good morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, good morning. I am of the opinion that youth should be given the chance. They should be given the chance to rule this country. Because if we take example of Taure, we have all been saying that he's performing very well. So youth have the capacity. We are tired of the old. They don't have the knowledge again. We are tired of the old. So that is my own opinion. Because when they give the youth the chance, we can know their capacity. And so I'm of that opinion. We should give us that chance. We are tired of the old. The old, they are ruining us. They are so corrupt in this country. We are tired of the old. Because if they give the youth the chance to perform, if we could not perform, that time we can know our fault. But today, all the time old, we are tired of them. Already, it has been showing that they are corrupt. That is my own opinion.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your thoughts. So when it comes to involvement, I believe, I wouldn't say 70%, but there's a start for something. You have to start it for you to get to where you need to get to. There has to be a slow, I wouldn't say slow, a paced integration.
Gradual,
Exactly. Integration into, the government, understanding the ins and outs, as well as identifying those that have Nigeria's best interests at heart and emulating as well as learning from them. Because truth be told, the youth still have to understand the workings of the government. That is one. But then it is quite disappointing that the youth are seen as unqualified. Nigerian youth are seen as unqualified or unable or incapable of being able to conduct when they're in government. But let's take our next caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning to young ladies in the studio.
Good morning.
Thank you for calling in. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, my name is Brans Destiny. I'm calling you from Enugu State, Nigeria.
All right, thank you for joining in. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Okay, ma'am. Based on the topic we are discussing this morning, I don't think the Nigerian youth are ready. I'm saying this is my own opinion, please. Why I say this is that we can remember during the time of Buhari, late Muhammad Buhari, he told us that the Nigerian youth are lazy, and it's like the thing is very true. Who is the youth that is ready to take up the leadership this now currently under this APC government? Sorry that I'm making party, but under this current APC government, it cannot work. Okay, yeah, former Kogi State governor, was he not a youth? Was he not a youth? Look at the way he mishandled misappropriated fund made for Kogi State people. You see, good example. Look at the former minister of empowerment, under one young lady like that, under Muhammad Buhari's regime, that the one that was suspended, and up till now we have not seen anything done to her. Nobody. Was he not a youth? Look at the Nance president. What was the reactions of on all this case of hardship that youths are crying? What do you say? Is he not a youth? Under this current regime, it cannot. Okay, how many women are even in power to talk about the women in our governance? How many women do they allow to be at the helm of affairs? Women participating in Nigerian governance. Talking about youth, please, the youth are not ready. All these things, we are just whiling away time. They cannot allow you. Is it not from Buhari to the same old man, Tinubu? From Tinubu now, Atiku is now warming up. The same people that when we are yet in the primary school, they are telling us that the youth are the leaders of tomorrow. Up to today, we are still there, still where we are. And they will continue to be frustrating us, giving us crumbs in the table, and we'll be clapping hands for them. The Nigerian youth are not ready. I'm telling you. Thank you, and God bless your station.
All right, thank you very much for your contributions. You know, whenever a discussion comes up about youth involvement in a government, we always think, or we always assume automatically that as we are discussing it now, as we're talking, immediately the next election cycle comes in, we are vying, or the youth is vying. I'm saying we, but the youth is vying for the presidential seat, or the vice president, or governorship seat, or senatorial seat. But at the end of the day, it is a gradual and slow integration. There has to be a process when it comes to it. So when looking at that, have a broader mind, have an open mind, having to tell the youth that you are incapable, because at the end of the day, when you continue telling someone that they're not capable of doing something, they tend to believe it.
Yes, it could actually breed frustration from the youths, and the youths are very important when it comes to politics, especially in the campaigns. They're being used for these campaigns and what have you.
All right, let us take WhatsApp messages for this morning. For this morning, we have a message, quite a lengthy one, from Adamu Muhammad Usman, who's writing from Kafin Hausa in Jigawa State. And he says, "Good morning to everyone. I relish and cherish this interactive session, and I extol the presenters. You people are doing well. Thank you very much." Well, I may not second the idea of giving the youth 70%, but it isn't a bad move. The present situation whereby so many youth are unemployed gives miscreants the opportunity to recruit them to perpetuate dastardly acts that have been on the increase of late in the country. The insecurity activities in the country, especially in the north, is perpetrated by youth, most of them unemployed. We hope to have less youth on the streets and other places, more in schools and others employed. The Nigerian youth will aspire to be responsible citizens if majority of them are engaged. And if the youth are fully engaged, they will shun or say no to drug abuse, fraud, corruption, and other social vices. Militancy, laziness, a horrible and uncultured use of social media and political thugs will disappear. Pardon me. The present youth will be law-abiding, committed, and they will be great leaders of tomorrow. If youth continue to commit suicide or die due to frustration, deprivation, and negligence and the like, who will take the mantle of leadership of the states and the country, Nigeria? Let's give the youth the opportunities, especially with modern technology, which most of them are now literate, even in the computer field. Thank you very much, Adamu Muhammad Usman, for that.
Well, the next to be taken is good morning, Hauwa. Good morning, dear Trust TV. The topic at hand is a very apt, taking into organizations the fact that the youth have not been given the desired opportunity to serve. However, very important questions as to how prepared are the youth. This all important question is because the same youth are forming youth coalition groups in support of the old brigade. They run to the old brigades with cap in hand, begging for peanuts. They have never demonstrated their independence in particular. They lack ideology. There is a need for a political mentorship program for the youth in preparation for participation in governance. This is coming from Comrade Nansat from Jos.
All right, and next up. We have quite a lengthy message from Owolabi SM from Kwara State. And he says, when comparing youthful leaders to older leaders in Nigeria, several differences become apparent. Leadership, lifestyle. He brought out this in categories. Youthful leaders tend to be more open to change and innovation, proactive and driven by speed and energy. They're more likely to challenge the status quo and bring fresh perspectives to problem solving. Older leaders often possess wisdom, experience, and a deeper understanding of the complexities of governance. They tend to be more cautious and focused on stability and incremental change. Second up, effectiveness. He said youthful leaders can be effective when given the opportunity to lead and implement new ideas. However, their inexperience may lead to mistakes and lack of perspective. Older leaders bring a wealth of experience and knowledge to the table, having navigated various challenges and crises. Their effectiveness is often rooted in their ability to build on past successes and learn from failures. Challenges. Youthful leaders face challenges such as lack of experience, inadequate resources, and institutional constraints. They may struggle to gain the trust and respect of older, more experienced colleagues. Older leaders may be perceived as out of touch with modern realities and less adaptable to new ideas. They may also be more set in their ways, making it harder to implement significant changes. Next up, he says mentorship and collaboration. He said intergenerational collaboration. Both young and old leaders can benefit from mentorship and collaboration. Older leaders can share their experience and wisdom with younger leaders, while younger leaders can bring new ideas and energy to the table. Mentorship programs can help bridge the gap between generations and foster a culture of knowledge sharing and transfer. He said, ultimately, effective leadership in Nigeria, regardless of age, requires a combination of vision, integrity, competence, and the stability to inspire the and motivate others by leveraging the strengths of both young and old leaders. Nigeria can tap into a wealth of experience, creativity, and energy to drive progress and development. He said, may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. All right, thank you very much, Oladi, for your contribution.
Oh, well, there are tons of messages to read, but I am afraid that this is the much we can take. Well, this is the much that there is in the phone interaction at this morning. Thank you very much for calling, and thank you very much for sending in messages. We truly appreciate your contributions.